Hi, my name is Dex from myconsult, and since the implementation of E-Invoice, there are a lot of questions being asked by our clients. One of the main questions a lot of clients has asked us is actually what happens if I have a staff claims and that staff claim includes E-Invoice or self-bill invoice related transactions. Alright, so in today's video we'll be actually going to look into how we actually can create those transactions inside AutoCount and submit it for self-billing purposes. Alright. To show you how we can actually do it inside AutoCount, I will show you with an example. So let's say we have a staff who has all these following claims, alright? So petrol from Shell station, entertainment, hotel, and cleaner, alright? So in this example, we are actually assuming that the staff has managed to get E-Invoice for those that can provide. So means Shell station as well as Starbucks can provide. However, we would not be able to get an E-Invoice from booking.com because as of now, booking.com invoices are from their Singapore office, while our cleaner is an individual, so we cannot get an E-Invoice from her as well. So with that information, we will need to create a self-bill invoice for booking.com and our cleaner. Alright, so now what happens in AutoCount? First, you will need to create the tax entity for both booking.com as well as the cleaner, right? So to do that, we can come up to the tax entity here, tax entity maintenance, and then we can create the tax entity. So example, let's see whether I have booking.com already. I can filter by name. Yes, I have booking.com. So for booking.com, what happens is I put this as business, I put this as foreign business, and then I will not fill in the tax identification number as just the business registration number. For the rest, you can check in the particular details like the address, email address, phone number, city and state, and whatnot. Alright. Okay, so let's say for example, now my cleaner is called Ida, and Ida is not in my list here. Alright, so how to do that? We can just press new here. We can change this category to individual, and then from here, what happens is from an identity type perspective, we can select here passport because she could be a foreigner. Right, so key in passport, key in their passport number right now, and then we key in their name. So let's say it's Ida, and then we put in their phone number. And if don't have, then normally I would just recommend my client to key in their company's details. Okay. Okay, once we're done, we press save and our Ida is already created. Alright, so now what's next? We will need to create our payment vouchers. Alright, so what happens is we can come here to the cash book entry first. We press new payment voucher. So when we create a new payment voucher, first we will need to key in all those transactions that has an E-Invoice, which is my Starbucks as well as my petrol, right? So example, we can say tax, okay, and then here we put here claims for the month. Right, so put the date, put the payment method. This is where you need to pay attention. So with E-Invoice right now, we would need to split our payment vouchers into multiple payment vouchers instead of just keying one direct payment voucher. Alright, so instead of using our normal bank account, we will actually need to go to this account called staff claims, and then from here we can put plus. Here we can say okay, traveling expenses, petrol, Shell, okay, and then we say 100 ringgit. Okay, and after that we go Starbucks, then we have one more, entertainment star. Okay, and let's say this is also another 100 ringgit. And done, we press approve. Okay, so now once that's done, we would need to create a payment voucher for booking.com and a payment voucher for the cleaner. So let's start with booking.com. So here, now if you realize there's actually a drop down list. So from drop down list, we'll select booking.com. Okay, so this is hotel bookings tax claims example. Okay, and then from here, again, we must make sure we select the payment method as staff claims. Okay, and plus here we can park keys under traveling as well, and then we put here amount 450. Okay, so once you're done, we press approve. And finally, let's do for the cleaner. So same thing for cleaner, we will put here the IDA. So we have IDA here, and then here will be cleaner tax claims. Okay, same thing, payment method, choose staff claims, and after that press plus, and then select here. This is cleaner. I don't have cleaner, so maybe I put here, for this example, we'll park it under wages. Nope, don't have. Or for this example, let's say we put it under salaries. Okay, so here you can put here 500 ringgit. Okay, so once you're done, we press approve. So this is just one part of it. We park everything in this account code called staff claims, and then now we need to reimburse them back, correct? So when you want to reimburse back, you can hit DEX, then here we put here DEX claims. So what happens is here payment method, here will be your bank account. So let's say I'm paying out for my CIMB account, then I press plus, I select here. So instead of selecting all my expenses account, I will knock off my staff claims account, and I will put in the total amount. So 100, 100, 450, and 500. So 950, 105. So it's 1150. Okay. So once you're done, we press approve. Okay. I'm not sure whether my maths was correct. So let's cross check GL here. Then we can come to the ledger report. So instead of all the ledger, I only want to see my staff claim account. Staff claims. Okay, and I put in today's date, 30th 01, 30th 01. Okay, inquiry. So you can see all my payments went out, and then after that I get reimbursed 1150. My total outstanding is 0. Okay, so now from an accounting perspective, we have already cleared up everything. So now how are we going to do it from a self-bill perspective? All right, so how to do that? We need to come to E-Invoice up here. There is this thing called self-bill. Right, then we press new. Okay, so press new. So instead of retyping everything again, what happens is we have this thing called copy from cashbook. So copy from cashbook here. Then what happens is I want to see from a certain date, so I can actually select for multi-select. Then today I want to see only for 30th of January. I press OK, and I press search. So once I press search, I can see there are multiple transactions that are in the system. Alright, so out of this, I only want to do self-bill for this transaction and this transaction. So I double tick these two and press OK. So because the system detected that there's more than one tax entity, this screen will then appear. So when this happens, most of the time I tell my clients, if you have more than one tax entity or different tax entities, we cannot use the first one or the second one. We should use the third one or the fourth one. So what's the difference between third and fourth? Generate multiple self-bills split by document means if you pay the same person multiple times during this period, every single payment voucher will have its unique self-bill number. Okay. The fourth option means if example, let's say we give example like Google charges you every 3 days for the ad spend, correct? So what happens if you select this final option? If there's 3 or 4 or 5 different Google bills that you are paid out, so the system will just lump it all together as a single tax entity and submit as a total sum. Okay, so for this example, I will select generate multiple self-bills split by document. I press OK. Then the system will tell me, okay, there's now 2 draft self-bills generated. Where are you going to find these transactions? You can find it under draft. Okay, so one of the things before we even approve it, we will need to double check. So double click on it. We have to make sure my classification code is correct. So this is importation of service, correct? Because booking.com provides you hotel services, so I can approve it. The next one I can check here. This is cleaner 036. I edit here. I can just double confirm sell bill others. Okay, fine, approve. Right, so once it's all approved, you can go back to the all here. You can see now this is called pending, means AutoCount is actually trying to send this information to LHDN. If I press refresh, you can see it all has been validated by LHDN already. Okay, so within this first 72 hours, you can still void or can amend this sell bill transaction. Alright, so how you want to check and reference out? So if you look at here, we can select here, double click. The system will have a source document, so this payment out to the cleaner is linking to this PV number. Alright, so that's actually how you create sell bill invoices for claims or stuff that has partial means some got e-invoice, some don't have, some need to do sell bill. Alright, so if you have any other further questions, just leave a comment below and we'll try to create a video as soon as possible. Alright, thank you.